the New York Yankees could potentially be linked to Colorado Rockies third baseman Ryan McMahon. What does this mean for the organization, and do we choose to go after him right before the trade deadline? What is going on, guys? Welcome to Yankees Digest. I'm your host, Gabby Gordon. Before we get into today's really interesting video, I just have one favor to ask of you. If you are liking what you see here, if you want to follow us as we cover the New York Yankees through the good, through the bad, through the ugly, and everything in between, hit that subscribe button out of the park. It means the absolute world to us, and you could be one of our very first OG subscribers from the very beginning. So without further ado, let's get into today's episode. So yes, the title is true. This could change everything for the New York Yankees. Clearly, we've been having struggles as a team, and as soon as I show you the lineup that Aaron Boone put out prior to today's second game against the Toronto Blue Jays, there is no doubt that there are some struggles within this organization. But who is Ryan McMahon? Well, he is the third baseman for the Colorado Rockies. He's 6'2", he's 29 years old, and he has been an absolute playmaker. He's a lefty, which is always great in terms of New York Yankees and Yankee Stadium. He's got 14 home runs on the year, 42 runs batted in. His on-base percentage is .353, which is pretty decent. He's got 35 walks and 296 at-bats. And of course, like I mentioned, he is their third baseman, and he has been having a career type of season. So where am I hearing all of this information? Well, it is potential that the Yankees have been interested, and that there has been some word about it within their clubhouse since the very beginning. I want to show you this quote from June 4th, and this is from the man himself, Jeff Passan. This is June 4th, just a few weeks ago. Quote, "When you've got Aaron Judge and Juan Soto, what more do you need?" Well, another high-octane bullpen arm would be nice, of course. Maybe a corner infield bat. McMahon would be a perfect fit, actually. So right then and there, folks, June 4th, this was 3 weeks ago now at this point, a little bit more even, some buzz about this guy. Now, why could this benefit the Yankees? Well, let's look a little bit deeper into things. Let's look a little bit deeper into his stats this season. This is what we're going to be looking at in regards to Ryan McMahon. He's a left-handed hitter, and he's in the middle of a terrific year at the plate, which is something that the Yankees are currently struggling with. He's hitting .277, .353, .476 slash line with 14 home runs, 42 ribbies, and 42 runs scored in 336 plate appearances. And let's say the season ended today, as I'm filming, June 28th. His .830 OPS would be a career high mark. This is pretty interesting stuff for a lot of reasons. Number one, we know how left-handers can perform in Yankee Stadium. We know that guys like Juan Soto are having tons of success, probably because being a left-handed hitter in Yankee Stadium absolutely works towards your benefit. Now, what's also here that's interesting to note is this stat, and that is that he'd also be very attracted to the Yankees because of his contract status and positional versatility. Now, let's look at this. He is signed through 2027 on a 6-year, $70 million deal. Now, McMahon is earning $12 million in 2024 and 2025 before that number increases to $16 million for 2026 and 2027. Obviously, that is according to Spot Track. But most importantly, his luxury tax salary comes in at just $11.67 million. Now, this kind of contract is going to help lower New York's payroll moving forward, which we all know is something that Hal Steinbrenner wants and Hal Steinbrenner needs. McMahon, he has spent at least 400 innings at first base, second and third base since his big league debut in 2017 as well. This is something that can be really attractive to the Yankees because clearly we've had issues at second base. Third base, there's always room for improvement. Oswaldo Cabrera plays a decent third base. He made a nice play last night, right? And so At first base, there's some questions as well since losing Rizzo, and you put DJ LeMahieu there, but he really doesn't have much of a bat. So this is something that is really, really enticing for this team. And I also want to show you a disgusting statistic that may even spark your interest in Ryan McMahon just a little bit more. Take a look at this for a second. Ooh, not that. This. The Yankees, who are not named Aaron Judge in the club's last 11 games. By the way, in their last 11, they are 2-9 as a team. If the club not named Aaron Judge, they're batting 170, 298, and 261. What a pathetic statistic. If that doesn't make you realize we need bats and we need a spark, I'm not sure what will, folks. Ryan McMahon seems like a decent fit and for sure an interesting piece that could fit this puzzle. And of course, it just makes sense in a lot of aspects. Now, how realistic is it going to be that Brian Cashman goes ahead and pulls a trigger on going a little bit further to kind of see what he can get in regards to Ryan McMahon? What does a trade with that look like? Maybe you have to throw in Oswaldo Cabrera into that trade depending on what the Rockies view as Ryan McMahon's potential value in the situation. And of course, there's a lot of news that's going to come on these potential trade rumors. But all in all, this really looks like it could make sense for New York, and based on what we have been seeing within the last week or so, 2 weeks or so of baseball from the Bronx Bombers, which has just been pretty pathetic to be completely honest. Look, a change could be good no matter what that change is. Let's take a look at the Yankees starting lineup going into Game 2 against the Blue Jays. Last night, disgusting start from Carlos Rodon. Tonight, Marcus Stroman gets on the bump looking to get back on track with his team. Volpe leading off at short, Soto in right, Judge in center. You got J.D. Davis batting cleanup at first base. Torres, who was benched for 2 games, is back in the lineup, back at second. We'll see if he can turn things around. We'll see if him sitting 2 games did anything for him physically or mentally. Verdugo out there in left, then LeMahieu, who was also benched, back at third base tonight. Trevino is catching, and Ja Jones is DHing, batting ninth. Just some takeaways here really quickly looking at this lineup. When you've got your DH, who is Ja Jones, batting ninth in this lineup, you need a change. No doubt about it. When you got J.D. Davis batting cleanup with a 227 batting average, you need a change. When you've got Aaron Judge and Juan Soto are the only 2 guys 300 or above, you need a change. And Ryan McMahon could be that change for the New York Yankees. I want to end on this quote because I don't want to get your hopes up quite too soon, because let's look here, right? The Rockies are going to want a lot for this guy. He is a playmaker and he is making a difference. And so, it may not be the greatest thing to note, but according to Patrick Saunders of the Denver Post, this was posted 4 days ago, June 24th, quote, despite plenty of rumors and speculation, there is nearly zero chance that the Rockies will move Rymack, as they call him, who has a chance to be a first-time All-Star this summer. Now, make what you want of this quote. How accurate could it possibly be? In my eyes, if Brian Cashman puts a really good deal out on the table in terms of getting Ryan McMahon, and it's really enticing to the Rockies management, I don't think they completely say no. So that's just my 2 cents on that. We'll see what happens with this buzz, and there's totally going to be more buzz to come. It is a beautiful time of year for transforming a World Series team, and if there's any time to do it, it's now. You have to get the pieces that you need, because I can tell you folks, with this lineup, they are not winning a World Series. There obviously has to be changes. You got to bring in guys that are going to make this roster spark once again, and hey, maybe tonight's the night that we see a little bit of difference, a shift in momentum. I hope that's the case. We'll see how that goes. That's all for today's video. For this video, we're going to be pushing out content constantly because everything is New York Yankees right now. There's a ton of baseball in the air. Great time of year. We just want to win games, but we want to bring you the best coverage of New York Yankees baseball that we possibly can. So if you love what you see, if you want to keep following us for this journey, the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between, please hit that like button. It means the absolute world to us, and we cannot wait to continue to grow Yankees Digest with you all. Once again, I'm your host, Gabby Gordon. So delighted to have you joining me today. We'll see where Ryan McMahon ends up in the next couple of weeks. I will catch you guys in the next video. Have a great one.